This video is sponsored by PokedownStore.com, the place for all your Pokemon TCG online needs. This is a fantastic website if you want to start your online collection or if you're just looking for a specific code. Look at all these code cards that they offer. Definitely check it out, PokedownStore.com, and use the coupon code ZapdosTCG for 5% off your next order. Also, this video is sponsored by CardMarket.com. If you're a European player, you're obligated to check out this website. You can sell your own cards or purchase from people all across Europe, so this is a fantastic platform. I use it personally every day, and let's for example check out this Bossasaurus. You can see in time when the price is right and get notified when it has a specific amount of money. So at this point, €3.28 for a Bossasaurus. What a bargain sale right here. So definitely check out both of my sponsors. You'll definitely help me out with that a lot. What's up YouTube, it's ZapdosTCG here and welcome back to another TCG video on my channel. This is going to be a different video. We're going to be ranking every single V Pokemon card that has ever been revealed or released. So this is going to be very exciting. We even included the new Darkness Ablaze stuff as well as Sword and Shield promo. So the Sword and Shield era started with a new mechanic called Pokemon V. They are basic Pokemon, but they can also V Max, and that is very interesting to say the least because they get so much HP, and we've seen a lot of them throughout the Sword and Shield sets. I'm very excited for Darkness Ablaze to get revealed. Be sure to purchase, of course, your TCGO cards on PokedownStore.com and also your physical cards if you're a European player on CardMarket.com. They will have Darkness Ablaze up very, very shortly. So without further ado, let's get into this tier list. There's also going to be a link in the description below where you can do the exact same tier list adventure like me. So let's get it on, and we're going to start off by going with the Sword and Shield cards first. I think the first one up on the list, now that I think about it, I'm actually going to give myself a little bit of a head start so we can know. Let's see here. Sword and Shield set. This is going to help us out a lot because we're going to go in order. So that's going to be very exciting. Sword and Shield TCG set. I wonder how it's going to go. Okay. The set list. Let's go. The first card, the first V Pokemon card that has ever been released was Celebi V. I'm gonna put this immediately onto the bottom tier. Nobody ever is playing Celebi V, not even in Rillaboom decks. It dishes out more damage depending on your bench, but it needs 2 energies and has fragile HP. You would love to use, if you use grass types, you could even use other Pokemon for that means. So the next card that got revealed is a Centiskorch. Actually, not Centiskorch, it's going to be, what was it? Yeah, Dhelmise V. Dhelmise V is also a grass Pokemon, so this is a better one because it can attack for 1 single energy, smacking 120 damage. Now we just need to find our Dhelmise. There we go. Dhelmise, I'm gonna put it in the C category. It might have some niche uses. If grass weakness becomes more a thing, you can actually use that Dhelmise to hit for weakness in non-evolving V Pokemon, which could be an interesting case. And the next card, actually, we're just gonna go randomly. Nah, just go set by set so you know which cards from which set were better. Okay, we have Torquel V. I'm gonna put it in the C category as well. Saw some niche uses. You can get rid of the opposing opponent's energies. We've seen it in Firebox, being able to get rid of like 2 energies on Obstagoons or Dragapults or maybe ADPs. Very interesting because of that second attack. Also, its first attack is able to smack 180 if you discard a top fire energy from your deck. So, interesting. Victini V, I'm going to put in the B category. Saw a lot of play during its lifespan. Initially in the Firebox deck, but also in Babe Blacephalon. I played this single Victini V in a lot of my Blacephalon adventures. So, I think it's a good card. With the Energy Burst, I think it is the attack name. Being able to slap 30 damage for every energy attached to both active Pokemon. Maybe it can become better if lots of VMAXs need more and more energies as time goes along. Then some water type V Pokemon, Lapras and Lapras V Max. I'm also going to be putting them, I think they're very good because their damage output is not limited, but you do need a lot of energy. So right now I'm gonna put it in the C category. It's still an interesting way. Lapras could become better. The only thing that slowed down Lapras was actually the Pikarom being very viable, so lots of lightning decks, but lightning decks might not be disappearing as we thought, thanks to, of course, Vikavolt V. Yeah, Lapras being able to use that G Max pump. For every energy you dish out more damage, like 90 as a base damage and 30 for every extra energy. So with 3 energies you already smack 180. And we have Frostmoth, we have the Capacious Bucket. It could become better when lightning is not as dominant as it is right now. So for now, I'm putting it at the C category. Also, this is my personal opinion. If your opinion is different, be sure to fill on your own ranking yeah, by clicking on the link in the description below. Moving forward, in Sword and Shield, we also had Caldeo, and Caldeo was actually a worse Lapras. It also smacks more damage depending on how much energies you have, but on a 2 price that automatically gets one-shotted, I would rather invest into Lapras V Max so it can survive and you can take multiple KOs. That's why I'm putting Caldeo V on the bottom here. Moving forward, lightning types in Sword and Shield, we found that Tapu Koko is actually very good. I'm going to be putting it at the B category. Tapu Koko V, Subplay, and Pikarom early on. Now they swapped over to Bolton V with Rebel Clash, but it still smacks a lot of damage. 200 for 3 energies with Tapu Koko, Prism Star, and Thunder Mountain is going to be fantastic to just get this attack off in one turn. We've also seen it before in Zapdos Jirachi. There were some builds using Tapu Koko V, so Tapu Koko V, very, very nice. Next up, no more lightning types in the Sword and Shield was Morpeko. Early on it was good, but now with Boss's Orders, I think I'm gonna have to lower this down to the D category. Everybody runs Boss's Orders, everybody has a way to abuse Boss's Orders in the form of Mewtwo, Mind Report from Unbroken Bonds, or using, of course, Eldigos, getting Boss's Orders straightly into your hand. So Morpeko attacks and then goes to the bench, but if you have Boss's Orders and knock out the Morpeko, it's not good, definitely with Thunder Mountain leaving the format, so putting it in the D category, unfortunately. Maybe a lot of people are a fan of this. Wobbuffet, interesting, can swap damage counters around, but you also need to stack damage onto it. So Wobbuffet V, I don't think it's too good. I've never seen anyone use Wobbuffet V. I'm putting it at the D category. Yeah, I'm sorry. Wobbuffet, very fun in the anime, but in the TCG, not showing that much playability. In DDV, healing 20 from the active, Subplay and Mew Mew decks. I think Mew Mew is a little bit going down in playability with all GXs rotating, putting Indeedee in the C category. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Next up is Reggie Rock. That's an easy D. Going to the bottom table. There's a lot of like really terrible V Pokemon out there. Stonejourner and Stonejourner V Max. Also putting it in the C category. It has seen a little bit of play. We've seen it, people using it with ADP. We've seen Stonejourner as a lone card, maybe with the Inteleon as we showcased. It's really interesting. It hits for fighting weakness, so Eternatus V Max might be careful if they see a Pokemon like this, because it cannot get one-shotted by Eternatus because it has so much HP. With Big Charm and all that, putting it at a safe slot number, actually, and on the C tier. Moving forward, we have Zacian V. That's an easy A. This is probably the best non-V Max Pokemon out there. This is just a V Pokemon. It's in a lot of decks. Decks use it early on to use Intrepid Sword to get hand advantage, drawing 3 cards. People use it for the pure Zacian build. We've seen straight Zacian with Galarian Berserker. We've seen Turbo Zacian. We've seen Zacian ADP, Zacian and Mill decks before Rebel Clash hit. Zacian and Baby Blounce. Zacian is a fantastic V Pokemon. I'm putting it safely on the A position right there. Zamazenta V, putting here it at the B position. The reason why Zamazenta, I think it will become better as time goes on, because the more V Maxes are in the top tier meta, the better Zamazenta is. Not only for attacking, you can just leave in the active, use Reset Stamp, and just save yourself a turn, because V Maxes cannot even touch it. Eternatus V Max, even though it does so much damage, cannot even touch it. So I cannot stress enough how good this is. Also, with more and more special energies being released, the Zamazenta V can get rid of special energies with its attack. We have Metal Saucer, we have Turbo Patch, so yeah, Zamazenta V is pretty good. Might be even come better when time goes on, but for now, a solid B slot it is. Snorlax and Snorlax V, putting them both in the C category. My channel is mostly based on, mostly based on the standard format, and expanded this is way better with the Skyfield scenario. But I'm a true believer that Snorlax V is a card you should play and expand it. In standard, you have way better options. So Other than that, there's only one card left in the Sword and Shield block, actually the set, the first base set, and that's going to be Cramorant, putting this in the solid B position. So as a little bit of an understanding, Cramorant can snipe 160 damage with the Dennis being in almost every deck. It's going to be very, very nice to get those cheeky 2 prize cards. We've seen it in Rillaboom decks, we've seen it in Baby Blounce decks, we've seen it in Malamar decks, even though Malamar is rotating, but still, only for 3 cards energy, sniping 160 is very, very good. Okay, now we're moving on to Rebel Clash. Before we do that, we still have some promos like Meowth and Meow V Max, both in the D tier. These are promo cards which you can get from collection boxes, and I don't think they're any good. While we're doing that, also this Poltergeist, also garbage. And also, if you smack into it, you can put a card from the opponent on the bottom of the deck, which I don't think is working out too much. It's a little bit niche, so the D category it goes. Okay, we have arrived in Rebel Clash. Rebel Clash actually is a very good set because it came with Dragapult V Max. This is one of those cards that is very impactful, but before we go with that, we're gonna see which cards got released first, and that's going to be Rillaboom. Rillaboom in the C category, sorry, even though we have the Rillaboom from Sword and Shield base set to accelerate energies, smacking I think 240 is just not cutting it these days. It has a good damage output against Pikarom, but with of course toughness cloaks and big charms and all that, it's just doing short. It's a stage 2 with a stage 1, so I don't think it's too good, but it saw some niche places, so it gets in the C category. Moving forward, Eldegoss. This is another one of those cards I love so much. I have a full art from that. Putting it in the A category. This is Versus Seeker as an ability. Why is this so good? Imagine you have a deck, you run Quick Balls, you run Communication, and at one point in the game you say, I just need to find boss's orders for a game. Well, that automatically opens the door. Quick Ball is your way to boss's orders. Communication is your way to boss's orders. It's so good getting that supporter from the discard pile immediately into your hand. Maybe you want another Welder. Maybe you want to spam Malulana. It doesn't matter what you want to do. Eldegoss is a fantastic V Pokemon. Belongs in the A category. Okay, moving forward, we are gonna talk about Ninetales V. I don't know where to put this one. Lots of these VMAXs have specific amount of things. I think I'm a solid believer that the more VMAXs get released, the better Ninetales V becomes. I'm putting it at the B slot because I have high hopes for the Ninetales. Imagine there is a VMAX that just states smack 300 damage, for instance Charizard. You can just copy it with a Welder and an attach of the turn with Ninetales V. Personally, I love Ninetales V, putting in the B category. Alright, we have arrived to water types in Rebel Clash, and this is going to be Milotic. Yeah, putting it in the C category as well. I had so much high hopes for Milotic V. Ever since the card got revealed, I was like, yeah, pair this with Gallermine, pair this with Absol from Team Up. It's gonna be fantastic. But Pikarom held it down, and also the fact that lots of these huge VMAXs don't have a huge amount of retreat cost. Although it might become better. Let's say I think Eternatus V Max has a 3 retreat cost. But with the high darkness energy, they have 0 retreat cost. So, I don't know. Milotic V was always a deck that I wanted to make work, but it never paid out. And it is what it is. Inteleon and Inteleon V Max. Also putting it in the C category. Saw a little bit of play. We tested it out on the channel. And I do believe that Inteleon V could become a little bit better. It has energy denial at his attack. 60 damage and put an energy from the opponent back in their hand. Against the Eternatus, that could be very detrimental. They just attach for turn. And then you can put it back in their hand instantly. So Inteleon V Max might become better, definitely with Pikarom being less good. We could still see Pikarom Bolton lists that rely on Bolton as a sweeper, but still. Ice Cube, putting it in the D category. I've never seen people play Ice Cube. Never. It's an interesting, cool card, but not seeing any play. Bolton V. I actually am going to put it... Do we put it in the A category? I think so. Bolton V accelerates energies. For any lightning deck, grab to your Bolton V. Also smacks more damage depending on how many lightning energies there are in play. We still have Tapu Koko Prism Star. We have Turbo Patch. I think Bolton V is still a very good card. It single-handedly put Pikarom from a 1.5 deck back to the top table. So a good lightning Pokemon indeed. Putting it here in the A slot very convincingly. It's very good. Okay, next up, Toxtricity V Max. Yeah, it has seen a little bit of play. I'm actually doubting to put it in the B category, but without Electro Power, I think Toxtricity these days are gone. Gonna be putting it in the C category. 240 damage with Electro Power. That seemed nice. One-shotting any tag team, but tag teams getting moved out of the format thanks to the power of Eternatus V Max. So I don't know if this is any good. I personally would not play it. 240 is just not cutting us these days. I can't imagine that I'm saying that, but it is what it is. Zacian V, straightly down to the bottom. I've never seen this card in action. It can paralysis, maybe with the Tangled Woods. Is it Tangled Woods? It's a stadium card that allows us to reflip coins. But with so many switches and scoop up nets in the form, I don't think it's any good. Torquel V Max, solid A card. Even though Eternatus V Max is coming out, if you're not up against Eternatus V Max, this card is still so good. It's low maintenance. For 2 energies, you can slap 130 on the active, 5 damage counters wherever you please. I'm a true believer that Torquel V Max, ever since its release in Rebel Clash, it has been everywhere. Tournaments, it dominated the tournaments. It won the Invitational thanks to Torquel. Torquel V Max, a very, very good card. Even though the weakness sucks right now, as soon as we get something like a remove weakness from a certain Pokemon with some kind of like a tool card or whatever, Torquel V Max might be creeping back to the top tables. I'm sure of it. For now, it's lower down 1 tier thanks to Eternatus V Max, but the card itself is very good. Okay, moving forward, Sandaconda V. I'm putting it here on the B slot. I'm a true believer that Sandaconda with Colossal will see more and more play as time goes on. The reason for that is he had weakness against Eternatus V Max, and it also is low maintenance. As soon as you get 1 Colossal out, you can spam Sandaconda V. Its first attack also accelerates energies to itself. Yeah, I'm a good fan of the Sandaconda, to be honest. Fallings, nevertheless, putting it in the C category. You need lots of ways to make Fallings work. You smack 30 for every Fallings. Imagine you have 5 of them out. You actually smack 150. That one shot, not even, that doesn't even one shot on Eternatus V Max. You need like a Martial Arts Dojo, or you need like Vitality Band and Gallerian Zigzagoon, which cannot happen because you have a full bench. Yeah, don't know. If you want to play a fighting deck, I think Sandaconda is the better way to go. Moving forward, we have Malamar V Max, straightly going down to the D tier. I've never seen this deck work in action. People thought, oh, Torquel V Max is a very good card. Let's make a counter deck with Miss Maggie's and Malamar V Max, and maybe it will work out. No, it does not. It has some disruption by its side, but with everybody running Quick Ball, everybody running the Danny or Crobat V, this card will never see success, unfortunately. Yeah, mark my words. It's not too good of a card. Maybe in like control archetypes, I don't know. But it needs 3 energies. It's way too much. Moving forward, Caparajah C. People thought, yeah, why not include Caparajah into your ADP Zacian list, or maybe play Caparajah with Zacian and Lucario, Metal and all that. The problem with this card is that it needs way too much energies. Maybe with Turbo Patch you can accelerate onto this one, so you can get Caparajah V basic Pokemon, Turbo Patch, Metal Saucer, get this off in no time. Might become better, but it loses Metal Frying Pan. With Baby Blount still being a thing, as well as Fireboxes, I don't think Caparajah V has it good. Dubwool V. I'm going to put that in the B category because of Powerful Kara's Energy. Powerful Kara's Energy will give Dubwool V the extra damage it needs. Let's say the opponent took 5 prize cards. I know, that's a little bit terrible, right? Then you smack 270 with a Dubwool V. I imagine you could be playing something like Porygon Z, Powerful Kara's Energy, Vitality Band, Gallerian Zigzagoons, and I don't know where you one-shot everything. And they have a hard time because you reset stamp. Yeah, Dubwool V, I like the card. Moving forward, I think that's it for Rebel Clash, to be honest. No, we still have some more cards going. I think I missed some. Sableye V. Yeah, that was from Sword and Shield. Missed that. Sableye V, putting it in the B category. I'm a true believer of Sableye V. The more damage on the field, the better. And you can use, of course, maybe Flapple, maybe Galarian Zigzagoons and Obstagoons still. But the more damage is on the opponent, the more damage you deal. And now with the Turbo Patch being a thing, you can set up Sableye in 1 turn, and that's pretty scary. So putting it in the B category. Have I missed any other cards? Yeah, Cinderace and Cinderace V Max. Putting that in the C category. I saw some a little bit of play in the Limitless qualifiers. But I don't know. Sableye V is one of Cinderace V is one of those cards. Like if the opponent gets a one-shot, your deck is irrelevant. Otherwise, you can rely on the counter attack. Counter is very good because the more damage is on you, you can smack that back, use Hyper Potion, heal yourself up completely. But there's a lot of one-shot machines out there. Eternatus V Max for one with the Galarian Zigzagoon snipes. The Centiskorch V Max coming up, and I don't know. We also have some promos like the Toxtricity, the other one in the D category. The other one was the preferred Toxtricity V. And now it's time to check out some new ones from the starter V decks and the Darkness Ablaze. Okay, let's start off with the best of the best. Eternatus V Max, going strictly to the 8th position. This is a card that's max 270 without a doubt. Of course, pairing it with Crobat, also an A card, top card. Crobat can draw cards until you have 6 in the hand, same like Shaman EX from Roaring Skies. We'll be seeing a lot of play in a lot of decks. And I'm a true believer that the deck Eternatus V Max will be successful. Smacking to 270 damage on the second turn is insane. With Gallerian Zigzagoons, you can even add it up to 300 with multiple scoop up nets, 340, 320. It doesn't matter. Eternatus V Max is legit and will, of course, get the KOs done rather nicely. The reason that Eternatus V also comes with it is that they are paired together. You cannot play Eternatus V Max without the regular Eternatus V. And Crobat will see a huge amount of play. So all A cards. These are my A cards, I think. I don't know if we have more. I'm going to put Centiskorch and Centiskorch V Max in the B category. Looks very good, but you always need to find a welder, and you also need to survive. Let's say the Eternatus V Max one-shot you lose all of your energies. You have to go back from scratch, so that's why you need to play those heat, fire energies. But if, like, Eternatus V Max decides, like, oh, I play Scoop Up Net, might I suggest, like, playing one Giratina? You can scoop it up whatever you please to just fill your bench once again. Getting rid of special energies, you never know. Even though Eternatus always plays pure Darkness types, otherwise you cannot get a bench of 8. You never know. I think it's a little bit fragile if you lose all your energies with Centiskorch V Max. But it's a very good card. It will be a very great deck, nevertheless. Okay, another B card. I think Salamence V and V Max are very good. The lightning weakness could be a little bit tricky, but I'm a huge believer that for a single welder, you can get 30 damage on everything. I know Mew from Unbroken Bonds is still out there, and this could be a perfect deck against it, but Mew will be seeing less play in my opinion, since everybody relies on Crobat V and not on Dedanis anymore, so you don't need to tech against Cramorant, as well as tech against Pikarom with Tag Bolt GX, because Pikarom is a little bit weak. All tag teams in general are a little bit weak thanks to Eternatus V Max being able to knock them out instantly for 3 prize cards. Okay, moving forward, we are going to have Lucario. Nah, we're just sticking it out. Vikavolt V, A tier or B tier? I think I will put it in the item lock. Item lock is strong though. First turn item lock, I'm going to put it in the A. Item lock has always been very strong throughout the TCG years, and this reminds me of Seismitoad. If Seismitoad sees play, even still in expanded, Vikavolt will also do the exact same thing. We have Tapu Koko, Prism Star, as well as Turbo Patch, so getting item lock on the first turn going second will be so detrimental, also because people are not able to play down supporters on the first turn. Okay, moving forward, these are all weird Pokemon. I don't know what else is in Darkness Ablaze. The Octalock deck, can we just check that out? If we click on it, nope. Just gonna be putting that Octalock V in the C category. It has a way to trap the opponent, so could be interesting nevertheless. Next up be Venusaur V, not a believer, putting that in the D category. I don't know if this is in Darkness Ablaze or not, but these are all starter V Pokemon, and that's interesting to say the least. Okay, what else? Lucario could be a solid tech card, right? You can attach Karate Belt, do something else, Turbo Patch. Yeah, putting it in the B category because Lucario V can one-shot Eternatus V Max. I don't know when we get Lucario V, but it's a solid way to one-shot Eternatus V Max instantly, which is insane. EV and EVV, I don't think they will be that good. I'm gonna be putting them in the D category. Yeah, I think so. Because, yeah, who's going to be playing this EVV, which is weak to fighting, sharing the same weakness as Eternatus V Max, and also not being able to dish out too much damage. I think the damage output of an EVV, it's very funny to say that, to be honest, an EVV. I'm also going to check out the card once again. EVV. What does it do, actually? Yeah, people were asking that. You have the regular EV, and I think the regular EV smacks 80 damage, and if you play a supporter, you smack 160 for a Carlos Pokemon. Why not use, Cramorant instead? Because you're gonna go down eventually. That's why we're putting that in the lower categories. And then the EVV Max. Yeah, it's a hard mouthful, right? EVV Max. This is a card that smacks 150, and if the defending Pokemon tries to attack during your opponent's next turn, flips a coin, but you can, and otherwise it does nothing. But you can get out of this very, very easily by switching out. So, as long as switch and scoop up nets are a thing, not a believer. Rhyperior, putting that in the D tier as well. I think Sandaconda is way better. Why use Rhyperior when you can use Lucario V if you want to make a pure basic deck? Okay. Gallerian Cursula. With so much healing going around with Malolana and all that, I don't think it's going to be seeing that much play, to be honest. It could be better with Arctozolt to, if you accelerate an energy, you get damage onto yourself. But you can attach Malolana and attack, so I don't think this is good. So putting it in the D category for sure. Moving forward, what else do we have to work with? Snarl V is a Darkness type Pokemon, which is able to slap 200 damage for 3 Darkness energies. The regular V. 200 for 3 Darkness energies. Nah, who can dish out more damage than that? I know, Eternatus V Max. Then we have Snarl V Max. Does this do anything better? It's max 170 damage. This attack does 50 more damage for every Darkness energy attached to this Pokemon in addition to the attack cost. It can smack 270 as a maximum. You cannot add more damage, otherwise it would be very crazy. But now it's just 270. 270 not cutting the deal. You rather play Eternatus V Max, putting this in the D category. Sorry, Snarl. Yeah, maybe the Snarl separately, 200 for 2-prizer could be interesting. Yeah, Tapu Koko V does the exact same thing, but we don't have energy acceleration for Darkness. We could use Weavile. Yeah, Eternatus is way mad. It's overshadowed by Eternatus. Mew, I'm putting that in the C category because Mew V has the attack that it can smack 30 damage for every energy that the opponent has on their active Pokemon. It's X-Ball from Mewtwo, I know. The attack name is called X-Ball as well. So this Mew could be interesting if people start me playing Lucario, so you can tech out against people that are weak against Psychic types. And if they have lots of energies, Mew can actually do some serious amount of damage. So putting in the C category for now. I think it's the best one from the starter V decks. Gardevoir, C category. If it wasn't weak against Metal, it would be better, but being weak to Metal, that means Zacian is gonna knock you out. I wonder if Zacian will still be the top dog in town since it loses Jirachi Prism Star. But I think Zacian ADP will still be a thing, so Gardevoir, I'm sorry, you can heal a lot of damage, I know, but not too, yeah, we don't have to worry about it too much. What else? Houndoom V, 200 for 3 energies if one of your fire types got damaged. With the Spike Mud Stadium card, could be doing some stuff. I'm a bigger fan of Ninetales. I'm gonna put it in the C category as well. Charizard V Max, 300 damage. He can keep doing that, by the way. 300 followed up by 300. The bad news is that even with Vitality Band, you smack 310. You also need 2 turns to set up unless you rely on Volcanion. You go second, Volcanion, then Welder, then you can get it off. Maybe that could be a thing. Should we put the Charizard V Max in the B category? Don't think so. There's way better fire types out there. For now, putting it in the C category. I don't know if you agree with me, so Charizard V and Charizard V Max go there. Butterfree in the D category. Yep, special conditions are not good, to be honest. Scissor also in the C category. People would put this higher. It's a defensive Pokemon. What the fire weakness does hurt it. Since Sensi Scourge is a huge thing, as well as Baby Blounce. The Incineroar V is a Pokemon that is also a liability. It is a 2-price Pokemon that can attack for 90 damage while accelerating 2 fire energies from the discard pile to one of the bench Pokemon. So having energy acceleration while smacking a little bit of damage could be nice. I'm going to be putting it in the C category. Dreadnought and Dreadnought V Max in the C category as well. See a little bit of potential in that because you have a buffed and ability. Lightning weakness will be not too much of an issue. And with, of course, its coin flip attack, you smack the numbers. Like, I think it's 240 on that Dreadnought V Max. And yeah, 240 is actually quite nice because if you use it twice, even with Malolana, you get the numbers done. So, Wailord V. Basic Pokemon with a lot of HP. I think its HP output is like 280 with the Toughness Cloak, 330 on a basic. Could be seeing that in some sort of stall archetype with hammers and disruption and all that. It also can attack, does 120 damage times the number of heads. So you can, this attack, I don't know how much you can flip. I think 3 times, right? 3 times, right? Wailord, I'm gonna be putting that in the B category. It could be entirely wrong, but I've always seen Wailord as some sort of a stall mechanic. It's not gonna be any difference. We have 4 Pokemon left. We have the Galarian Stunfisk. And the Gallerian Slowbro could actually get more and more HP, but as seeing as there's one-shotting machines, and as seeing as his base HP is not as high, I'm going to be putting in the C category. Droludon V, 10 damage plus 40 more for every metal energy. It's not capped though, so let's say 3 metal salts for his dash of turn, that's 4 energies, only 170 damage, but it does have an ability, same like Dreadnought, taking 30 less damage. I don't think it's any good. 3 energies on here, that's 130. Yeah, 3 energies. You'd rather be playing Zacian, right? Who needs this? Our overshadowed by Zacian in the long run, definitely. Then we have Greedent V. I don't know if that will see any play. It's I think it will be some sort of a collection box, or it will be printed surprisingly in Darkness Ablaze, or maybe another set. 180 damage for 3 energies. If flip a coin, if tails does nothing, you can do 180 with like a Houndoom, or even 200 with a Houndoom, putting this in the D category. And then the last card of all the V Maxes we've seen so far is Gallerian Slowbro V. Just gonna open it up real quick to see what it does. Okay, Gallerian Slowbro V. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, leave the opponent poisoned. It has a 3 retreat cost, so you cannot even rely on Air Balloon and all that. 130 damage, the opponent cannot retreat. Yeah, this is not good. So yeah, this is my final tier list. Hopefully you guys enjoyed me making a tier list of all the V Pokemon out there. Maybe I can just make it a little bit like this. Okay, what do we see here? The A category, Zacian on top, Eldegoss, Bolton might be lowered down to a B category, to be honest. Dracopult, Eternatus, Vikavolt, and Crobat. There's the B category, where we see lots of good cards that might see a lot of play and has seen a lot of play throughout the years. Will become better, like Celebi V will become better. Lucario V will become better if Eternatus V Max is still the popular deck. These are some average Pokemon that will see a little bit of play, or have seen a little play, and these are the worst of the worst. In my opinion, you could even bump up Morpeko if you want to, since it saw a little bit of success before Boss's Orders, but with Boss's Orders, terrible card. These are all terrible. These are the cards you don't want. These are the cards like, yes, I could make a deck with that. These are the cards like, yeah, I'm gonna tag this or make a deck around it. And then these are the best of the best. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to mouse the like button. Make your own tier list by checking the link in the description below. And I'll be seeing you guys in the next video very shortly. Subscribe as always to don't miss out on any future content. And destroy that like button. You always help me out with that. And I'll see you guys in the next video very shortly. Peace.